that the economic changes, are they responsible for the distortion of the world where we have James Comey?
Yeah.
Or there are other forces at work also as obvious?
Oh yeah, no, there are other forces at work, and I don't want to get too carried away, but I think that a lot of the forces are spiritual as well. I mean, one of the things that I've argued for the last couple of years is that the fight here, the struggle is not primarily political. Let's take the FBI, for instance. I mean, clearly we're looking at a politicized government bureaucracy. Right, it was weaponized to target a Republican president and his aides. But if you look at the other things the FBI has done, for instance, with the Larry Nassar case, this was the U.S. Olympic gymnastics team. One of the lead agents went in there and was basically speaking with the U.S. Olympic Committee and saying, "Well, hey, you've got this great job on offer," and the idea was, I can make your troubles go away if you put me in line for this great job. I mean, that's disgusting, right? I mean, we're talking about little girls, who were assaulted, this cretin, and here's an FBI agent, and he's trying to get a job. So that's very important in the sense that it shows the corruption is not primarily political. It's something else. It's a moral rot.
But I mean, isn't it even a sort of moral rot? Let's say that the FBI didn't purposely ignore all the leads with respect to all the terrorist attacks that we later found out they had leads on. Let's assume that was incompetence and not purposeful malfeasance. That's a kind of moral rot as well. And it's a moral rot that comes from a lack of accountability. No one is ever punished or disciplined. How do we get to that world where there's zero accountability for performing your professional duties?
They're all covering for each other. If you look at powerful people within regimes, right, and if someone blows it, the regime understands you have to get rid of that person, right, or you have to push that person aside, because that person will bring down the entire regime, because the citizenry is always larger than the elite, right? Just in terms of numbers, it's always much larger. So you have to protect your own legitimacy, and you do that by getting rid of people who make errors all the time, who make mistakes. But that doesn't happen anymore in the United States. Instead, what they understand is exactly the opposite. It's like, well, that person is screwed up really badly, but if we try to take him down, if we try to move him aside, pulling out that one piece will collapse the entire house of cards. Anthony Fauci is a perfect example of this, right? I mean, this guy has gone from failure to failure for close to 4 decades now. If you look at the COVID response is effectively a cover-up for Fauci's failures, for his failed biodefense program. But this is happening across the board, right?